Hey guys, I'm NATO King, and today we're going to finish up Picture City with Space Mama's Crater. Well, alright, mostly finish it up. We're taking on the boss, and this is the last time I ever want to have to see this Mona Lisa Rayman thing. Hey look, how generous they're giving us a 1-up right above our heads. What are the bets it's going to take forever to get up there? This is a little bit out of the way. Not all that bad. Plus, I get a 1-up out of it. But then you see one of these really annoying jumps. With a fist that's at all powered up, this is pretty much trivial, but mine's not. All of that just so I can get shrunk down and get through this tiny gap. And then we gotta work our way back down past all the spiky balls. And I don't know what is up with this one, it just keeps bouncing back and forth. Alright, I think it's finally done. And of course, once we get to the bottom, we're gonna have to deal with all of them again. If this happens to you, hit that one over to the right, get it away from the edge there. You'll thank yourself later. So I finally get my 1-up. No cages appear. And I barely squeaked by that one. The good news is, if you're ducking, the spikes will pretty much never hurt you unless they manage to come up at you from below. Now the only problem is that I'm tiny. But there was a blue elf way down at the bottom, and that's his entire purpose in life. Now this jump is harder than it looks, but I've had a lot of practice. Oh, the number of times I went through the beginning part of this level. I think these spikes just hurt you. And in fact, they will be hurting me later, but not this video. We come down here for yet another secret. Actually, a whole lot of secrets in this first part of the level. And hey look, it's another 1-up. Also, not a cage. The cages in this part of the level are actually really easy to find. How I managed not to do it, I don't know. And I'm just going to take all these optional paths and get a bunch of extra lives. Because that's what really matters in the end, isn't it? Not having to see that continue screen. Although I'm sure you guys are just dying to see when it's going to come up. I make no promises. There's a one-way passage coming back up, and the worst rings pretty much in the entire game. You swing all the way to one side or the other, and you'll hit the wall. Hit the wall, and you'll fall down onto the spikes. Touch the spikes, instant death. And there's cage number 1 over there. Now I know how to get to that one, and the other cage is actually pretty much right next to it. But at the time of this recording, I didn't know about it. So, I went off to greener pastures in search of other ways to get to the cage, and many ways to take damage. Because ultimately, even more than the 1-ups, that's what this game is all about. Getting hurt over and over, and getting a fully powered up fist all in one area. So now we gotta go all the way back on these disappearing cloud ledges. No secrets over there. I'm just kinda hopping around. You gotta get used to those clouds taking a little while to come back. Later on in the game, that's actually gonna be really important. And now the hooks, one more time, with feeling. And with the determination of purpose. Nothing too difficult about it. Eventually, you kinda have to get good with those hooks. especially for World 5. As for running too far, I'm just never gonna get the hang of that one. I think if you run to the right and just keep running and jump at the appropriate times, it's probably pretty easy to make this whole thing, but you don't need to run. Why would you do it? Now those elevators up there lead to both of the cages in this area. Once I've gone down here, I can't get back up. So for the cage roundup video, I'll be showing the right path through the level. For this video, I'll be showing the wrong path, although there are a couple more one-ups down here. Like one that just appeared. And yeah, at least it was the last jump that I failed to make. And hooks that just appeared out of nowhere and for once catch me off guard because, well, normally things appear out of nowhere and try to kill you. This one was trying to help me, and I didn't know it was coming. But that's alright, because there's lots of power-ups, lots of extra lives. This level's just full of really nice bonus stuff, and really, really annoying ramps. I mean, this is just the worst part of the level for me. I mean, this first area is kind of nice. The rest of the level is going to look impossibly hard. Ultimately, I don't think it's nearly as hard as it looks, but as you're going to see, that's not saying a whole lot. It's still a very tough level, and it's got probably the hardest boss waiting for you at the end of it. So yet another extra life. I am making a humongous profit in this level. And then it's time for a race. I don't like races, so I just cheese my way past it. Rather than trying to stay ahead of all these frying pan guys and make all these jumps and hook swings and running jumps, I'm just gonna take one hit point of damage and then be able to take my time with the rest of the area. I know you guys are expecting so much more from me, but if you've watched all these videos, you should be expecting a lot less from me. What do you think this is? A movie trailer? No, this is the real thing. It's just gonna be lousy. So the exit of the level is up there, and if we go too far to the left, we end up on the spikes. Although we'll be standing on top of this ball, so I think we'd still be okay, but I don't intend to miss a jump like that. Alright, that was the easy part of the level. Now we've got the ominous thunder and lightning. And a free pickup. That is the game's its most generous. And then you die right here. Swing too far to the right on that one, and you hit the spike and die. Swing too far to the left on that one, you hit the spike and die. It is a very, very difficult jump to time properly and still get the distance that you need to make it to the next hook. Needless to say, I missed that many, many times. And if you ride this platform back to the right, you can get a speed fist. At this point, I don't need it. But if you've lost a life, it's really handy to get. Then we've got more precision grappling. Wait for it. Wait for it. I made it! I think most of the tricks in this level are stuff you've either seen before or get used to pretty quickly. You know, they've given us the tough grappling puzzles before. These are just probably tougher still. And one last time we're going to have to see those monkey spacesuit guys. and a 1-up that's almost impossible to get. And the only real trick is, once it appears, you have to make it over there without losing a life, and I never had a lot of luck with that. But the Ting Magician gives us bouncy platforms. This is probably one of his most fun areas, even though I just wasted about 5 seconds on one Ting. And another 5 seconds there. Almost sounding like a speedrunner. So, if I manage to make the jump off here as soon as I touch the thing, that'll save me another half second. Not that I think all speedrunners have British accents or something. I just wanted to distinguish that from anything having to do with my opinions whatsoever. But I pretty thoroughly screwed up the beginning, and I still make it with seconds to spare. They're really, really easy this late in the game. I don't really understand why that is. But probably because, here's a nice dick move. You gotta kill that guy so you can make the jump, and then you get stuck playing the Ting Magician again, so let's just get through this quickly, shall we? The weird thing is, I didn't really mess up too badly this time, but it took me a little bit longer to make it. I give up. But there's no real time pressure in most of those stages. So, we sneak past the Ting Magician without paying, and move on in the level. I think the worst of the grappling, at least, is past. Again, until we get to World 5. I don't know why I tried to jump over the pencil at the wrong time. And I'm not sure I'm even paying attention to what I'm doing here. So there's a cage up there. I'll be going back for it later. You have to go all the way to the right and then back to the left to get it. Got my 1-up, and then I see there's a little hook down there. So I come up here, notice this seemingly bottomless pit. I go back to take another look. Yep, there's a hook down there. Must be a secret. So I'll ignore it. If anyone has any theories about what might have been going through my head when I decided to skip that, please share. So, I need to use these ramps to jump up to the left, and I'm facing the wrong way to grab the ledge. So, try that again. That part's a bit harder than it looks, but yeah, it usually takes me a lot longer to get through. And then, of course, I fall down here, and there is no way back up. So I figure if I'm stuck down here, I can at least go and grab that full health. Maybe there's a cage hiding behind that. I just actually have to get up to the top of this ramp, and this one is even worse than the one I got stuck on before. But I finally make it, land on the elevator, and die. That's a death trap. I'm sure there is a way to get through there. I couldn't begin to tell you what it is. I'm not sure I even want to know. I think I'm just gonna leave that as a mystery for the ages. So alright, take 2 at this part, and here I decided to go down there and get the secret. Well, maybe it's a good thing I didn't go down there the first time. Take 3. Not particularly exciting, but at least it doesn't take me long to get back to the same part. And I'm not even going to bother with the tings. 5 tings when I'm just going to die again, and probably not even going to keep this video. I don't know what the difference was. This time I survived, last time I didn't. But kill these guys, get full health, always good. And I finally have a cage. Considerably more than halfway through the level. And don't even try using that grapple hook. It is not going to get you to the clouds. It will get you to death. What a Grappling Hook of Death would make an interesting horror-type movie. One of those cheesy horror movies that no one actually likes. So, alright, here we go. It's an easy jump to make if you actually make the jump. This one's a hard jump to make. Don't even try it. Just hit those balls and send them through the gaps. And that time the game was just playing unfair. All these anti-tunes appearing out of nowhere. There's nastier stuff waiting for you. Particularly in the first section of this level. You know, I said it was easy, but there is a nasty, nasty trap. Which you'll get to see in the roundup video. It's a fate worse than death. If you screw it up, you will have to play the level a second time through. Although you do, of course, have the option of resetting and not saving your progress, so you only have to redo the first part. And here I am with very little health left, but I can recover 1 unit, drop down here the way nature intended, and finish the stage without going back for the full health, because I like having 37 lives. I don't want to lose another one and have to replay the start of the level again. And now, this is the hard part of the level. Like I said in earlier videos, the hard part comes at the end, and this one makes it look like your average Mega Man ROM hack, I think. Spikes everywhere. And no super helicopter this time, no, you've got to duck and jump at the right times. Hit a spike anywhere, and I'm pretty sure you just die. I don't know whether you have to make a running jump to make it across there or not, but I suspect you do, and having to run and then jump before the platform disappears is not easy. And yet, the level is unchanging, fixed and invariable. You don't have to worry about enemies and their crazy AI, things appearing out of nowhere. All you gotta do is make sure that you punch fast enough, and jump and duck at all the right times. It's kind of like Prince of Persia 2008 a little bit. Getting from one place to another is sort of a series of quick-time events which are punctuated by obstacles rather than, say, buttons appearing on the screen. And they give you a lot of checkpoints in this area because you need them. For example, if Rayman doesn't punch when you press the punch button. And you notice they give you a free speed fist right at the beginning. You need it to get through here. Your fist just isn't going to go far enough if you don't have it. So as you can suspect, I ride this platform to the right, and then back to the left again instead of jumping to the next one, because there's a secret over here. There's a big secret over here. And I'm kind of surprised they actually let you swing all the way to the right without hitting that spike. But don't ride that platform up over there. You want to come up these bouncy clouds over here to make the cage appear. Now you got to get to the disappearing cloud. And it's trickier than it looks. Especially if you can't time your jumps. I said I was getting the hang of these grapple things. I never said I got it. And what's the deal? What am I doing? And why? Alright, just one disappearing cloud, and I have cage number 3. Actually, cage number 5 for the level. And then you jump up to make the one-up appear over there. And it's still optional. But it's a nice thing to get, and there's very little danger here. You know, the worst that happens is you miss your jump onto that elevator there, and there's another one below for you to fall down onto, and it doesn't even move. So, a couple disappearing platforms, and we're 1 life richer. And now we gotta get through this whole gauntlet again. Rayman, thankfully, can move from ducking to jumping a lot faster than you'd think, considering how long the animations run. And guess what? Stand on that platform. Now we gotta go back to the left and get another secret. Fortunately, we don't have to go very far. it's a couple of tings, which make another hook appear. This level and the grappling hooks, I tell ya. Some nice easy jumps, and we get a ton of tings, and the last gauge. So when I come back, everything that I need to get is in the first part of the level. And they make me play the whole rest of the level only because Ubisoft, back in those days, were apparently a bunch of buttheads or something. It's not me personally, I know. Everybody who played this game had to go through the same thing. Now here's where they hate you. You have to duck as the curtain rises, because that washing machine will take your head off if you let it. And here's Space Mama. We've already fought her in some kind of weird Viking outfit. Now we just have to take on her space outfit and this rolling pin lightsaber laser gun thingy. It seems tame now, but just wait. The early part of this battle is nice and well patterned. She tries to jump on your head, announcing her presence with a swish sound. So you have plenty of time to get out of the way. And the washing machine at this point is just a big background object of no consequence. So once I score one more hit on her, now she's down to half health and things change quite a bit. She starts attacking with pressure cookers. We can't hurt her while she's doing this, and you just have to dodge all of these things. This is where the low amount of health really comes into play, especially if you lose a life during this whole thing. You've got to go through the entire fight with just 3 hit points. Definitely memorize where the pressure cookers are going to appear when. It's always the same pattern, although sometimes the gaps will be in different places. And just know when to move where. And to get out of the way when she tries to land on you again. So now she's down to 5 hit points, and now this is the worst part of the pattern. I think this is the infamous part of the battle. She hides behind the washing machine, and her beams are not that difficult to dodge at this point if you're careful. Obviously I'm not. But you need to pound on that washing machine with your fist, and I don't know what exactly it is that makes it shake harder. If you have to hit a certain part of it, or... Oh, I see. You have to hit that knob in the upper right that moves it to the next cycle. And it will hurt you as it bounces off the screen. I can't believe I never noticed that knob before. So now she's throwing pressure cookers and trying to land on me or shoot me with her gun. But from this part, I think the battle is actually a lot easier. You know what's coming, she has no additional tricks, and she gives you a lot more opportunities to hit her in the face. So that's pretty much it, except for actually getting the deed done. And with 3 hit points, it should not be a problem. Just remember to get out of the way of that swishy sound. And if there are too many pressure cookers on the screen, crawl out of the way. Like so. And that'll be it. She does her funky little dance and collapses. And we don't get a chance to celebrate because, uh-oh, the evil Mr. Dark has kidnapped Batilla the Fairy! But we're finally pretty much done with Picture City until I have to revisit it. Next time we're moving on to World 5, the Cave of Scops. Get your grappling gloves ready because this is where you're really going to need them. See you guys next time.